Can I ask you what's your money personality?
Okay, well, I feel like I should issue a small caveat. So I'm not the first person to have come up with this idea of a financial personality, and I kind of hesitated a bit before putting it in the book, but I just find it such a useful way of being able to talk objectively about maybe bad habits or faults or things that we think we could improve without kind of turning the spotlight too far on ourselves. So of the different money personalities I list in the book, I do say it's a bit of a Venn diagram. I reckon I'm probably about 70% goblin, which is the classic kind of hoarder of money. I grew up in a situation where, despite what my voice might sound like, there wasn't much money around when I was growing up. And when money came in, it had to be eked out. It was not there to be wasted. And certainly when I started to earn my own money as a teenager, I realised quite quickly that it doesn't go very far. So I've definitely got that kind of hoarder mentality. In the past, that's led me to keep far too much money in cash savings. Everyone needs an emergency fund, but there's a limit to how much emergency cash you need. And I was very scared of taking risks with that money. So I was late to investing. Very much a fan of investing now and feel good about it because I know if I look at my cash flow, I look at the money I've got coming in every month, I look at how the investments are building up over time, I'm comfortable with the fact that the stock market can go up and down and that my cash isn't just being eaten away by inflation, which is what's happening to lots of goblins at the moment. And that's quite an uncomfortable feeling because you think that you're not taking risks by keeping a lot of money in cash, but in fact, that in itself, if you've got too much cash, is a big risk. So that's one of the financial personalities. Controversially, one of the other financial personalities I feel is probably at least 20-25% of my makeup is the spendy Wendy. Now, I've spent ages trying to find a man's name that rhymed with or that ended with Endy. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess I'm a spendy Wendy then.
Spencer?
So, yeah, a Spenny Spencer. That's great.
Yeah.
So the classic thing with somebody who is a spender is that their desire to own a particular object, it's not based on their needs, it's based on their wants. And crucially, when they get that object, whether it's trainers or a dress or, a handbag, a new outfit, whatever the thing is, it doesn't really scratch that itch for them. They quickly move on to the next thing. It's all about the instance of spending the money, making themselves feel good, but that feeling is very fleeting. But the one lever that we can pull is getting in touch with emotionally, what is it that is driving us to spend? Is it a status thing? Is it a social anxiety thing? Is it that we're buying gifts and being a person who gives lavish gifts when that's something that's going to get us into debt? All kinds of reasons might be behind this. One of the personality traits of the goblin is that, they do hold on to their money too tightly, as Vicky Reynolds, who's the psychologist who I interviewed for the book, says. And for some people, as bizarre as it may sound, not being able to spend money is a problem. And you might think, who are these people? But maybe they've had a trauma in their life. Maybe they've been brought up in a household environment where they've been told, it's wrong to spend money on yourself. You shouldn't treat yourself to certain things. And it's really, really difficult to break out of these habits and behaviours that have kind of been locked into our minds by our parents or the people who've brought us up.
If you want to hear Claire talk more about our relationship with money, then you should watch this episode here. This is the full episode, and it's actually the first ever episode we made on the podcast.